What is that now? How have you and your family been avoiding deportation so far?
We have been told to stay on the hotel, and we are for the past 2.5 weeks. We're not even able to go outside to the streets. Immigration or medical assistance. We're not able to go outside. So we're staying on the home at the moment.
You have 6 children as well. How are you handling all of that? How are they handling that?
It's very frustrating and very hard for us, but we have no choice, and we have no other way. And this is we have to live with it. Of course, they're crying, of course, they're mismarried, and of course, they're trying their best to not to manage it somehow. So I'm telling them that, somehow like to play with them or just to tell them to we are not able to go outside, to enter outside. So we've convinced them somehow.
You were speaking earlier this week to our colleague Rafi Bujikanian, and you told him that police showed up at your door earlier this week. What did they say?
Police were here, and mostly they go to the raid. They go to their homes, and whoever is undocumented like us, we just put them in the car and just in the bus and cross them, border cross them to Afghanistan. They came together, all the males living in here, and we requested them and told them that we have to talk to IM, which is responsible for all the embassy of Canada in Islam, but to talk to them because we didn't tell them that we don't have visas, we don't have documents and stuff like that, because if they know, they will directly come, they wouldn't care for anything. But we tell them whatever documents we have is all with the embassy, either with IM. So we don't hold that. And you have to go talk to them, not us. Because if you bother us here, their kids and their ladies, and they're all worried. They asked for the number of manager of the hotel, and they got it, and they said that they will come back.
Do you think they will?
Well, we don't know. They have not come back yet. And today is the first day that the deadline. But we are worried and we are frustrated, and we don't. You can never know.
The deadline that you mentioned is the deadline, Pakistan's deadline for undocumented migrants to leave, which passed yesterday, as you said. But what you're describing, it's this constant state of waiting and worrying. It's impossible to imagine for most of us.
It has been 2 years since I'm waiting here in Islamabad, so I can get my visas. And then there is a worry that somebody is going to catch you and put you in the press and give it to the same people that you have been running from. In all those 2 years, all those struggles, all those hardship that we have been through here, it is all going to be for nothing. And you're going to lose your life anyway. I don't know if the government of Canada feel that, or they want to do something about it or not. But we are in a very difficult situation.
Your relationship with the Canadian Armed Forces was one certainly built on work and trust. Can you tell our listeners about that close relationship that you had and the kind of work you did?
I've done a lot of stuff with them, and there are contracts which were very, very hard, and we were at the front line in fighting with them to the enemies, shoulder by shoulder. And I was able to be on the base. I was green badge, and I could go into the base easily, like you were saying. There was no difference between us, and I could never forget that Canadians army are the best people in the world, and I respect that. And the work that we have done is too many contracts. The only one that I am proud of, there was no contract, and I did save Canadians' life at that time. We had a contract to survey a road, and then in that road, I have found a big bomb, and I reported. And then those Canadians, they were admiring me, and they told me, "Thank you very much," and you saved Canadians' lives at that time. But right now, at the moment, our lives are at stake, and nobody's there for us.
You mentioned you've been there for 2 years now. You left Afghanistan in 2021. What are officials in Canada telling you about your application to come to Canada and why it hasn't been approved yet? What are they saying?
The most and the big answer for them is that your case remains in progress. And whenever we tell them that what's going to happen to us, we are not. It's refugee cases. It's cases that people's lives are at threat. So why you guys are not working on that? What is the problem? What makes it so hard for you to make a decision? He said, we don't know. He said, we know the Embassy of Canada in Abu Dhabi or in Islamabad, and we don't have anything else. That's the answer why we call Canadian immigration in Canada. And when we try to contact them here in Islamabad or Abu Dhabi, they're saying the same thing that your case remains in progress.
When you think back to what you did in Afghanistan for the Canadian Armed Forces and where you are now, how do you process that?
I did talk to one of your colleagues, Mr. Rafley, and I respect him a lot. And at the first days, I was telling him that I'm very proud of my services and stuff like that. I'm at the moment that I swear to you, my heart is feeling right now that I'm sorry for myself, serving them at that time. Because right now, nobody's there for me. I worked for them for 7 years. I worked for them every minute, risking on that because at that time, not everybody knows. In Afghanistan, whoever Afghan was working for them, their life was a threat. But I didn't care. I chose the right path and I worked for them. And at the end, when now my life is a threat and I cannot even go to my country, they're putting me in so hardship with my family. I wish it could be only me. I would not care. Right now, they're risking my kid's life. They're risking my life. They're risking my wife's life. They're risking my whole family's life. And they don't even care. I emailed the Embassy of Canada several times to please have some mercy. Not on me. If you don't want to take me, do whatever you want to do me. But at least save my family. Every day, my here. He's away from every freedom of life. The life that we are living here, I swear to you, man, is worse than animals. Immigration minister is very proud that he took 40,000. Okay, congratulations for that. But sir, all those thousand people who are living right here, and those all of them served you, and they what about them?
Mohammed, thank you for your time. I hope you get answers soon.
Okay, man, thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the time.
Mohammed Yunus Nassimi is a former military officer of the Canadian Armed Forces in Afghanistan who reached in Islamabad. In a statement to As It Happens Today, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada said it was monitoring the situation closely and actively engaging with the government of Pakistan on the resettlement of Afghans and related issues. In a separate press conference this afternoon, Minister Mark Miller said he hopes to see flights from Pakistan to Canada in the coming weeks. When you think of Alberta, a few things might come to mind: the Rocky Mountains, the beautiful prairies, active pollution clusters. But Alberta has another defining feature. It has long been known as a rat-free province. So it may come as a surprise to learn that the city of Calgary is facing a bit of a rodent problem. The province has confirmed that 2 recycling facilities in the city are the sites of ongoing rat infestations. Karen Wickerson is a rat and pest specialist with the province. We return Airdrie, Alberta.
Karen, given what's happening, can Alberta really call itself rat free now?
Well, we are still maintaining our rat-free status. And what that means is that we don't allow rats to permanently establish in the province. Rats do get into the province. I can't inspect every vehicle coming into the province along the highway. But when they are discovered in Alberta, we work to permanently eradicate them.
But this infestation, how does it compare? It sounds like the infestations happen from time to time. So how does this one compare?
Well, this one, it's in a challenging environment, or both of these, I should say, because we have 2 facilities that currently have them.
700 years old.
And they're in recycling facilities that receive products out of our blue box. So as you can imagine, not all of these products that have contained food have been cleaned properly. As well, within the facility, there are places that the rats are able to nest away from us humans and go undetected.
Is this the worst you've seen in a long time?
Yeah, I've been in this position for 4 years, so definitely these are the biggest infestations I've had to deal with. The other probably most prominent infestation that people would be aware of was in 2012 at the Medicine Hat landfill, and that took 2 years to eradicate.
So what's the game plan here?
We're just being diligent. We are in the facility every week. The facility has a pest control company, and we go in every week and monitor and basically change things up if they need to be. If we need to be looking at different areas of the facility to place traps and bait, then we do that.
Have you seen them?
On a couple occasions, yes.
How many are there? I mean, ballpark, or how many have you killed?
It's really hard to put a number on it. We just go on reports from the staff working within the facility and then the bait consumption.
So since the 1950s, Alberta has had protocols in place to make it rat-free as much as possible. What is the secret in the province?
Yeah, the biggest secret is that we started right when rats got to the border. The program was established. And we have legislation in place that states that every Albertan is responsible for controlling them because they are declared a pest in Alberta. So we're lucky.
What's the monitoring like now?
A lot of it is public reporting to me. I have an email set up. Also, we still do patrol the Alberta-Saskatchewan border and inspect the first 8 kilometers westward from the border, from Cold Lake all the way down to Montana, twice yearly. So, in the spring and fall. Most of the reported rats I see per year are single rats, and the rats that are hitch-ride on vehicles from outside of the province. So they're single rats.
The makings of a animated film I see here. But...
Exactly. Yes, we could. There are many different versions that we could make. And we know that there are rats all around us, essentially, and the jurisdictions all around us. So, it's just something where we have to be very vigilant about it and encourage people to report to us if they think they see a rat.
Are Albertans good at properly identifying rats?
It's really interesting because, if you've lived in Alberta your whole life, you may have never seen a rat. And so identifying one can be challenging sometimes. So 50% of the reported sightings I receive, and I receive 400 to 500 per year, are muskrats.
Wow, they're muskrats. But first, I have to say, your inbox sounds like a scary place.
Yeah, muskrats are on the move in the spring and the fall, and people often see them during the day, a fair distance from water, and think that they could be a rat. So yeah, it can be busy.
What is your relationship during your job with rats? And I mean, when something like this comes up, does it feel like a huge what if it grabs you? Because this is such a big part of your product investigation. You admire the rats.
They are highly adaptable. They learn how to survive in different environments. So it's just a constant challenge for me to try and hopefully stay on top of that and encourage, get the word out to the public, right? Please send me photos.
And rinse your recycling.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Neil.
Karen Wickerson is a rat and pest specialist. We reached her in Airdrie, Alberta. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness hanging from a trellis attached to their roof. The words of William Shakespeare. Was he writing about people who grow record-breaking zucchinis? Not literally, but if he were here and you asked him, could that apply to people who grow record-breaking zucchinis, he would say yes. Then he would probably ask you to explain airplanes. The point is, competitive zucchini growing is not for dilettantes. It requires expertise, patience, passion, and dedication. Giovanni Battista Scozzafava has all of the above in spades, gardening pun. He holds the current world record for longest zucchini, as this report by CHTV acknowledges.
The Guinness World Record for the longest zucchini is 8 feet 33 inches, and the current record holder lives in Niagara Falls.
Just a Brief pause here to clarify that the record is not actually 8 feet 33 inches. That would be 10 feet 9 inches. He means 8 feet 3.3 inches. But you know, if you're not in the record-breaking zucchini growing business, the position of the decimal place probably doesn't seem as important. But Henry D'Angelo of Thorold, Ontario, is in the record zucchini growing business, and business is good. Back to the CHCH report.
I'll just let it keep growing. This had been growing since probably about June, so it just continued to grow till about a couple weeks ago.
It's hard to get a sense of just how long this zucchini is, so I'm going to try to show you a different way. I'm 6'1". This zucchini is almost 8'5".
To be precise, 8 foot 4.79 inches, which, if Guinness certifies it, would be a new world record. The result, as you heard, of months of unhurried, painstaking effort. But, as William Shakespeare wrote in Romeo and Juliet, wisely and slow they stumble that run fast, trying to grow record-breaking zucchinis. Yes, that's verbatim. Here's Wilson with Garden.
Representation of indigenous people in Canadian prisons. What would actually fix the problem?
And tour de force. Neil speaks with a fiddler from the UK who's taken a lot of interesting career paths. He's just finished a 2-month-long tour around Wales in which he and his bandmate walked from gig to gig.
Spoiler alert, they still like each other. Stay tuned.